All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Gankutsuou, the Count of Monte Cristo, episode 9. Oh boy.
Aha.
We had a vampire mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And there's a box.
There's a
With
box.
something inside it.
And funky games afoot.
Mm-hmm.
And affairs and births and
out
things.
there, just caught in the middle of it. Again. Mm-hmm. Also weird apparatus attached to the Count's hands, or potentially something that's engraved into his hands. Not sure. This is also a part 1 of a number,
right?
Which is actually like the first time, kind of, in the show thus far, structurally. Like there was the part where they went into the Champs-Élysées, but that was very, very much at the end of an episode as like a little like addendum thing. Whereas this was like the episode. So now we've got more after that.
Yep.
Could the other families potentially be a little bit antsy about this?
And meanwhile,
given that it's all 3 of them,
Yes, that too.
One roof.
But then also, Madame Villefort has been unleashed.
Yes.
Okay.
And she might have already poisoned Valentin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
lovely.
Y'all, without further ado, let's get into this madness.
ダングラールの奥様が
Yep.
倒れたんです。
Oh, that track in the background.
Yeah.
もともと私の義理の父のもの。それを知っての侮辱ならば許さんぞ。
いや、知らぬこととはいえ、これはとんだ失礼よ。しかし、興味深い。そして奇妙な偶然ですな。ということは、あなたにとっては勝手知ったる自分の庭というわけだ。
なぜなの？
Wait.
貧血でしょう。
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, shit.
Oh, he's got a little gun.
お前は一体何者だ？
東方宇宙からやってきた田舎者。それ以外、お答えするような過去はありません。何も。
Oh, no. Senor Danglars.
ご心配なく。少々ご気分が。
探そう。ユージャニー。
Okay.
ユージャニー。
Oh.
I love this environment.
ユージャニーはダングラールのお嬢さんはどこに？
伯爵から君の噂は聞いているよ。
Oh, whoa.
ユージェニーは一緒じゃないのか？
もう奥の前向かっているよ。お父上と一緒にな。一つはっきりさせておこう。この世で僕だけが唯一伯爵の気持ちを理解できる。
Oh, he really is a rival for the Count. Okay.
But why bring that up now?
Just because they're alone, so he can.
Yeah.
Smart.
Is he gonna see more than he should? Oh shit. Oh shit.
Whoa.
あの刻印はどうかご無理はと言っても無駄でしょうね。
ついてこられるか。地獄の果てまで。
無論どこまでもお供しますぜ、岩窟を。
Oh, he's calling Gankutsuou, not...
Yeah.
Whoa. Albert's like, that was a lot of stress.
Yeah.
I need to relax now. Oh,
Meanwhile,
these 2 have gotten to have just some good one-on-one time. Oh, yes.
いや、ほっとしたらなんだか。
Wait. Wait, did he get poisoned?
Did he get poisoned?
Wait a minute.
しっかりして。アルベールさん、アルベールさん。
Okay.
Whoa.
なんだか胸の使いが取れたようです。
それはよかった。特別に調合した薬です。
Oh.
胸の痛みにはこれが一番です。
アルベールのやつどうしたって言うんだ。子供の頃から病気一つしたことなかったのに。
お二人はどこか他人が入り込めないような絆で結ばれている気がして。
そういや君は。
Change the subject. Yeah.
でも好きなら好きでいい
Wow.
じゃないか。
あなたは
Oh my
またそんな
god.
いい加減なことを。
いい加減か。そういう君こそ結婚できなきゃ好きになるのをやめるのか。
それは
やめられないだろう。やめられないよな。
Wow.
アイス
Now with the count as well. You know, thinking about Mercedes.
Oh yeah.
バランティーヌは本当にいいやつに出会ったな。
アルベール、
はい。
つかぬことを聞きますが、今日はどのようなものを口にしましたか？
Ah.
あ、でもそういえば青い花があるテーブルの水を。
青い花といえば東方宇宙で珍毒と呼ばれる
The fact that you're
恐ろ
telling
しい
him
毒で
this
す。
could be
まさか
dangerous.
あの水に毒が。
おそらくそうでしょう。氷が溶けて毒が薄まっていたため事なきを得たものの
Oh, wow.
危ないところでした。
一
So
体誰が
Valentin
こん
maybe
な
didn't
ことを。
drink any.
Yeah.
狙われたのはあなたではないでしょ
確かにあの水差しに毒を混ぜたということは
Super
狙いは
suspicious at your
ビル
house
フォール
though.
家の人々。なぜなんだ。
う。他人の恨みや妬みの心というものは本人が幸せであればあるほど、されど未遂に
Dang,
終わって
tied
し
to
ま
the
っ
previous
た
conversation.
となると次なる罠が。
そんな僕には幸せになってほしい人がいるんです。
アルベール起きて平気なのか。
もうバッチリだ。心配かけたな。
でも
Damn.
まだ安静にしていた方が。
Walking
そうで
around
す
like
よ
nothing.
アルベールさん。
いや急がないと。
バランティーヌさんのところへ。
ああ
He still seems shook.
Oh yeah.
そしてなんて魅力的な。
Let's talk.
すべてのネットワークを駆使してあの男を調べろ。
Oh,
特に
here we
マルセイ
go.
ユを
All right.
重点的にな。ギオイ。
You might find out like
時に首席判事殿はその男とどのようなご縁で。そんなことは考えなくていい。
I mean it can help him with the
さ
investigation.
れどネズミにはくれぐれもご用心を。
失礼します。お飲み物をお持ちしました。
ありがとう、バロア。
No!
Yep.
Damn it, no!
But it's not gonna work, right? It's gonna be just fine.
それにしてもビルフォール家が狙われてるなんて伯爵の考えすぎじゃないのか。
あの人は普通じゃない。俺は信じる。聞いてくれるか。
なんだよ改まって。
実は俺やっと分かったことがあってさ。
だからなんだよ。
フランツは笑うかもしれないけど、やっぱりお互いがお互いを思い合うってのは大事だよな。バランティーヌとマクシミリアには幸せになってほしいと思う。お前は複雑だろうけど。
そんなことないさ。俺も心からそう思う。できることなら思い合う者同士結ばれてほしいってな。
そうか。毒なんか漏らせてたまるか。
Crap!
My god.
雨が強くなってまいりました。いえ、そんなお嬢様。
いいのよ、遠慮しないで。
Oh my god.
バロア、どうしたの？
Shit.
Wow, he saved her life!
Uh-huh.
Holy
Yeah.
crap!
Yeah.
God, this is a violent poison.
Uh-huh.
Jeez.
何が？
Yeah, but she only drank just a tiny bit. And Grandpa sees this. Yeah. Yeah. I love the Grandpa so much. Oh. Shit. Wow.
早くお医者様を。
なんてことだ、バランティーヌさん。
そんな伯爵の言った通りに俺行ってくる。
どこへ？
決まってるだろ。伯爵のところだ。あの人なら何とかしてくれるかもしれない。
おい。
Yeah, I mean, he was able to help you.
Yep.
どこまでもお供します。ガンクツを。あいにく伯爵様は仕事で旅立たれまして。
Business.
そんなお戻りはいつですか？
Is this
すべては伯爵様の
like an episode of sorts that he has regularly?
相変わらず一人じゃ何もできないんだな君は。
お前
楽しみだよこれからが。
どうすりゃいいんだ。
Yeah.
What can he do?
All right, this would be a good spot to end the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, don't die.
闇色の夢から目覚め、死の底よりよみがえりし、愛することも愛されることも知らぬ美しいお前、呪いなり、呪いなり。
I have no idea what this means, but I love it! Holy shit!
All right.
Okay.
Valentine could be dead, like, very soon.
Well, no, but not yet, though. Not yet. Like,
But
but
the developments going on with the Count and his whole scheme here, something went wrong.
Right.
Now, the thing that immediately went wrong, I would say,
Albert got poisoned.
Albert got poisoned.
Yeah.
That was not what he wanted. Now, he did want, I would say, Madame Villefort to start poisoning probably her family.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of ways...
Specifically Danglars, what seemed to be the one that he was wanting her to hit.
Yeah, exactly. But, the situation as it is has spread out to a point where Villefort is now directly suspecting his past in Marseille.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's like, oh, this guy's an enemy. He has something personal to do with me here, and my paranoia is peaked. So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
The Count had something happen where the purple glyph thing went up on his head, his forehead, and it had like this face to it of sorts.
Yeah, it very much has given me the vibe in the past of sort of like the third eye kind of a thing, you know, and like tied to his vampire powers. And when I think it was it episode 2 or something where he rescued Albert and he went into the place with the thieves and stuff, and then he kind of unveiled himself as like a one, I'm on the hunt, right? I'm actively like hunting these people in here,
right? But
also as kind of like a display of force to intimidate, yeah. To make them just piss themselves in fear.
Yeah.
And it was effective, right?
And it worked. This could have been that. The difference, though, is that this physically pained him, hurt him,
right?
Dismantled him in some kind of way physically to where he was having trouble standing or even walking.
Right. This is...
It's antagonistic towards him.
It's antagonistic towards him. Now, granted, if he was some kind of crazy experiment thing in the Chateau d'If and all that stuff, and that's how it came about, it totally makes sense for there to be potential side effects and consequences and things. And when we saw his body, it was very much like a, even the metal things in his skin and flesh and stuff aside, there were whatever those scars were and all of that stuff. So this is not a a strictly positive relationship he has with this side of himself. However, he has seemed to find a balance with it in the past, in previous times, like in episode 2. Like it was very much like a thing that he put on, right? It wasn't a there was.
We don't know this was that entirely. That's just a speculation we have. It makes sense that it would be that, right? But we're not 100% certain.
What do you mean by that?
The thing, the literal glyphs upon his forehead,
right?
And stuff,
right? We saw those in episode 2 when he went after the thieves, and you remember that, right?
No.
Okay,
no, I don't remember actually seeing them.
Okay, they were it was very much a thing.
Okay.
And if that is the representation of his vampire powers, we have seen points in which it can be a thing that he is at the very least not subservient to, right? It's a balanced dynamic, right? This is something different. I'm not sure if this is something where we're supposed to read into it that this is how it's always been, or if this is a result of some complication that the Count didn't see coming. Because up until this episode, I feel like most everything that happens in the story has been kind of all good for the Count, right? No crazy surprises or things like that. And if there are, it's very much things he can roll with. He's never, the boat's never rocked.
He's quick on the draw.
He's quick on the draw. He's never really concerned about what's happening because he's on top of it, right?
Yeah, he doesn't plan everything to work out perfectly, but he still ends up coming out just fine because he's very smart.
Yeah. But with Albert, that was a concrete example of where something very clearly that was not according to plan, right? And then he was freaking out about it. He was trying to figure out what happened.
Oh.
What?
I think I noticed something that's different here.
Yeah?
All 3 families were here.
Yes.
And symbolically, this thing that's attached to him, we mentioned, has to potentially have something to do with his desire for revenge.
Okay. All right.
It could be that it was a combination of not just the fact that Albert got, nearly killed here,
but also I should be feeding right now.
Also I can taste his, Velophors right there.
Yeah.
It would be easy.
Right.
It would be easy. And yet he doesn't. So it might be that he lacked restraint and control at this crucial moment and nearly broke his own composure.
Because that
revealed the beast, basically.
Right. Because that is, if we were to talk about differences between this moment and the moment in episode 2, in episode 2, he wasn't concealing that part of himself.
No,
there was no effort to do that. He was actively letting it out, right? Whereas in this, it's take me back through the secret passageway, and oh God, let's get this under control, right?
Right.
So yeah, I could definitely see it being kind of the hunger, or the revenge, or combination of both.
Because if we go on the fact that he's a vampire, the vampire stuff does not have to have anything to do with the other stuff we see attached to him. That doesn't have to have anything to do with being a vampire.
That's true. Although at the same time, we have not seen him actually. We have not seen the need to feed from him.
Well,
yet.
No,
not in a concrete sense.
We don't have to.
No, right. But if he is a vampire, and we have seen the concrete evidence that he is a vampire from the purple stuff, because I'm guessing that's the vampire thing.
Well, it doesn't have to be. That's what I'm saying. That could be something entirely different.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Because the stuff on his arm and stuff, that's not a typical vampire thing.
No.
And on his head, this is what I wanted to bring up. That seems like technology. That doesn't seem. That seems magical or technological. It does not seem to be vampire.
So
nature.
I do totally get what you're coming from with that. And while I will absolutely agree that there is a very good possibility that however this whole vampire thing works, it might not be a technical vampire thing, but that's just what people relate it to. We did have that example where the nobility in the first episode were talking about that random sailor that started eating people.
Yeah.
So I think there is probably some element of feeding here, even if it doesn't necessarily go
again
traditionally vampire.
I'm just saying leave our options a lot more open. We know he's a vampire, but we don't know what that has to do with anything with regards to the stuff that is very much a not vampire thing. Like there's stuff that is very clearly, he has fangs. He literally has fangs.
Right.
He's
got the pointy ears. Yeah, he doesn't show up in pictures.
He's got blue skin that is like very clearly because he's dead in some ways.
Right.
Now, there's other things where like he has something like engraved into his skin or some kind of apparatus there. That's not vampire stuff. Right. But it could be connected to the glowing thing there. I want to make a connection to something in other fiction where usually when you have some kind of extra face above you there, it's for the purpose of having a mask. Now, the Count is all about masks, right?
Sure.
That's very much who he is. But in terms of a power, though, in fantasy, primarily, that's actually to show the other personality or the other will.
Okay.
It's more of a possession side of things. So what if the whole Gankutsuou thing is more along the lines of like
the alternate identity?
Identity.
Sure.
And the vampire thing is just physically you're not human anymore. But you're not just a vampire.
Okay. So
you're a vampire with other stuff put in there.
So mind if I bounce off that for a bit?
Yeah.
So with vampire stories, especially if they're kind of worth their salt, right? One of the things that has gotten into is the conflict of when you become a vampire, how do you balance the human side of you with the fact that you are no longer human, but you used to be, and the desire to feed and all of that stuff, right?
Right.
And we've talked about how the Count being a vampire is thematically very relevant on this revenge story.
Yeah.
Because the common thing about revenge stories oftentimes is it's not just the will you get your revenge, it's at what cost does the revenge come to you, right? Yep. Revenge is a dish best served cold, right? It's the idea that you're also killing yourself to get the revenge in the same way that you're taking down and exacting your vengeance upon your enemies, right?
Yep.
So if this ends up being something where this is some kind of adverse effect, whether it's tied to the vampire side of him or the technology or something, and it is taking that conflict that would otherwise be more emotional and internal and turning it into an actual physical mechanical thing.
Right. Yeah.
I love it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But the fact that this is a thing that is causing him issue here means that it will cause him more issues in the future.
Yes.
And given some things that we know about the general story about the Count of Monte Cristo, it'd be interesting to see how this ties into the ending specifically. Because I think this could be the kind of stuff that completely deviates the story from the typical Count of Monte Cristo storylines progression.
Sure.
Madame Villefort successfully poisoned Valentine here, though. By getting a poison directly to not only, her daughter, her not daughter, but also to the servant there. This is now a situation where the Count has to measure keeping her hidden in the dark, basically, because he knows what's going on and knows that she's the one doing this.
Right.
Versus how much damage will she do as a weapon before she's stopped, basically.
Yeah, like the fact that he told Albert this is what the poison is and things like that. Oh, and the person was poisoned in the Count's house and things like that.
Right.
Let's just say it's a good thing that Albert is a dum-dum, because it wouldn't take too much of a genius to at least be suspicious of the idea of, like, wait a minute, why are we assuming that it wasn't you?
Yeah.
You would think that, I mean, maybe that would be too obvious, right? To poison someone when they come to your own house,
right?
Lead back to you too easily, but
yeah,
you were the one who served the water.
Yeah. If anything, I could see Albert being just smart enough to where he actually would never suspect the Count here, because he would think the Count would be dumb in order to do that.
The Count's not that stupid. Yeah.
Right.
So clearly he didn't do it, and it's true, he didn't.
Yeah, and also the Count has no motive, really.
That's true.
Like, really, trying to poison Valentine? No, if anything, weirdly enough, this is the part where I'm glad he's not into the investigative, like, accuse everyone kind of thing. He would suspect, actually, people connected to the Franz, Franz, because Franz is, fiance and stuff like that. And yet, this would be someone that would be an enemy of him, Franz, you know?
Oh, okay. All right.
So you would have to then think of your best friend in the sense that there are people that want him hurt in some way.
Sure.
But
yeah.
There's not a lot of on the surface, I would say, pointing evidence for Albert to look into, other than it's more of the thing of now you can't trust anyone.
Right. It's just that general sowing of doubt and things, and the fact that
it's not Franz Maximilian. Like, definitely.
Right, exactly.
Either of those two.
And to Albert's credit, he's not exactly being given a lot of time to think about this because boom, he's poisoned. Oh shit, that's a big development.
You nearly died. Yeah.
Right, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, we need to get to Valentin's house immediately because
she got poisoned too.
Oh, and she's already poisoned. All right, what the hell do we do? You know,
Count, where are you? Gone. Who knows? Cavalcanti, waxing about. Yes, you're nothing alone.
Yeah.
So, Cavalcanti, you really are drinking this in.
Right. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because once you get into like the super side characters of this story, oh boy, it's hard to remember who's who and what's what and all that. There's so many characters.
Yep.
So I do not remember Cavalcanti.
Yeah, I feel like I vaguely remember the fact just his existence, really.
Right. I meant like I don't know what his role or purpose in the story is.
Nope, me neither. I will say though, one of the things that I do very much remember from the books, and I'm so excited that we're getting into this segment of the story, is all the stuff with Valentine and her grandpa.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, like I can't imagine what it would be like to watch this and not know anything about this story, and all of a sudden, imagine your granddaughter's getting poisoned right in front of you.
Yeah.
You can't
physically
stop
do
it.
anything.
You can't do anything. You can just lie there and paralyzed and watch. Oh, you also see someone that might give you information as to who poisoned her.
Yep.
And you can just watch.
Yeah.
And you can't say anything. No. You know, it's just you're just there.
Yeah.
Observing, crying. If that doesn't rip your heart out, I don't know what does.
Mm-hmm. And, we need to get to know the family as a whole more, especially him. But that is, one of the sadder moments in terms of, side characters having very little to do in the story, but having a really impactful bit.
The fact that they have little to do being a positive rather than a negative for their characterization.
Sure. All right. Villefort is investigating the Count, which is hilarious because this is something I have slight memory of how this goes, and I'm excited for him to get his investigation underway. Where, oh no, I'm learning all this stuff about the Count. I am one step ahead of him. Yep. And immediately in the show, they're like showing their whole meeting being watched and stuff, and it's like,
right.
Nice.
Although he did say, "Be careful of rats," and so it might have been like a subtle thing of like,
we're being watched.
We're being watched. So at the very least, he hasn't been bought yet.
No. But how an offer you can't refuse.
Right. How professional is this guy?
Yeah. And is he also the type of person where he values his own safety, where if he realizes that he's like, oh, this isn't worth it, I need to leave this system. Like, I need to get off this planet. Like
bugger off to Pluto,
Yeah, or leave the system of planets and go to elsewhere. So that's its own thing. Which Villefort is really suspicious of Count of Monte Cristo. I love his Count of Monte Cristo, my ass. I was like, yeah, exactly. Villefort is, in a weird way, one of the smarter of the three.
Yes. Absolutely.
Guys in general.
Well, and
because it's weird, because Danglars is the one that's the most financially successful, and Morcerf is definitely not the smartest one. He is more of the charismatic one.
Right.
But Villefort was the one that was the books guy.
Right. They have a good head on their shoulders in their own different ways.
Right.
But Villefort, and of course there's a bit of personal bias because of the three of them, I definitely like Villefort the most.
True.
Like I'm sorry, my dude. You were a bit of a scumbag, but you didn't deserve this.
Because you mean like his act involved in it wasn't as personal as the others?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
He basically turned a blind eye towards justice and just betrayed who he was internally.
A slight bit of
greed.
Greed and just.
It wasn't personal like it was with Morcerf or Danglars.
And his was more responsive to the things that happened rather than actively causing things to happen. If that makes sense, you know?
I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, something gets presented to me, I make a morally questionable decision about it, but okay, you know, and then it's all right, now my whole life just But they've made him a lot less likable in this series.
He's pretty unlikable here, in general.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for his comeuppance, especially if they seem to be teasing that his will happen first.
Yes.
Because he'll need to be addressed first. Which could be a cool twist on things, because I don't remember if it was Danglars who was last. I believe his might have been last. And then it was Mercedes was basically the surprise bonus last one there. But anyways, I don't want to talk too much spoilery potential stuff for those that haven't seen or read the books, basically. But seen the show, basically. There's a show behind the show, guys, by the way.
And it's just as complicated, if not more so.
Way more so,
But speaking of things being dealt with sooner rather than later, Franz,
yeah.
So,
hey,
buddy. My buddy, my heart goes out to you, absolutely. Yep. The fact that you were basically just going out and talking about your feelings to Albert, to Maximilian, to,
his feelings for Albert to the person who loves his fiancée that he doesn't love.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, we might actually have some camaraderie, maybe.
You actually do.
You know, you might understand a little bit of what I'm going through, right?
Yep.
And yet he still can't bring himself to say it. It rips my heart out. But also, my dude, you saw some shit.
You saw.
And
behind the mask.
And I
fear for your life.
Yeah.
You are very lucky that he doesn't know that you saw that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that if you start warning Albert,
what's Albert gonna do?
What's Albert gonna do?
This will be some straight up Sansa Stark stuff where it's like, oh my God, Cersei's planning to, take over the throne. Oh, Cersei, you're not going to take over the throne, are you? Who told you this? My father? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Can't remember if that's exactly how it went, but
maybe in the books, yeah.
Yeah, but so I again, Franz, you don't deserve what's about to happen.
Yeah, F's in chat for Franz, basically.
Yep.
And I feel for Albert. Just kind of.
He probably
he won't ever know.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever know.
No.
Even at the end, which is so sad.
Well, he might know at the end.
Yeah, when it's too late.
Well, when the count's no longer the count.
Sure.
So, yeah. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.